do a draft of the defensive players that we would start a franchise with. It's always the quarterback. It's always the offense. We're starting a franchise with a defensive player. Who is it going to be? Chris, I was offered the first pick during the break, but I'm going to go ahead and let you have it. You get the first pick, 3 rounds. Let's go.
Well, this is an obvious one. That's why I almost feel like bad that I'm taking it. But I'm still going to go with Aaron Donald here. He's still going to be the first guy right now in the NFL where if I'm starting a franchise and I need to pick one defensive player, the only thing I would say is, okay, maybe he's at the very peak of his career right now and probably going to start to come downhill just a little bit if I had to be fair. But this guy with tremendous work ethic, we've seen him in person. And to me, probably should have still been the defensive player of the year last year. I mean, he was the best defensive player in the game. Gilmore, of course, was phenomenal and deserved his award. I don't want to say anything like that, but I'm still going with Aaron Donald at this point in time.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. Aaron Donald is 29.
I know.
And that was surprising to me to see how old he is, but he was drafted in 2014.
Right.
He was drafted later than he should have been, but he's 29. At some point, when you consider all of that pounding that he takes, there is going to be just the commencement of a slide in the skill set. You can't continue at that level into your mid-30s. I know we've allowed ourselves to think that because quarterbacks are doing it, other great players are going to do it. No, that's not how it works. So I wouldn't have taken Aaron Donald.
Oh, you wouldn't have.
Pick. I know. Because I'm starting a franchise. I'm going to be around for a while. I want my defensive player with which I start the franchise to be around for a while too. And when you look at what Nick Bosa did last year for the 49ers, when you look at how he elevated that entire defense, how his presence and the inability to contain Nick Bosa opened up the rest of that defensive line. I don't want to take anything away from D Ford and the rest of Nick's teammates, but I think Nick Bosa was the difference there, not D Ford.
Yes.
Nick Bosa's the guy that changed that defense, and if I'm starting a franchise, I want the guy who's in his second year, who's got multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards in front of him, not behind him.
Well, just because my guy might still have a lot in front of him too. Don't crap on my guy when you don't know the future, okay? Be careful that your guy's got an injury history. Mine doesn't, all right? So let's I just wanted to give a little pushback, but I'm very much real in like cahoots with you here. I agree with you. Nick Bosa would have definitely been one of my top 3 picks here for sure. And I agree with you what your statement was with the 49ers. This was the best player maybe on their football team last year, certainly on their defense for my money. And I don't even that's just my opinion, but I just know just from people I talked to during the season last year, after the season was over, when they played the 49ers, Nick Bosa was candidate number 1 of, he's amazing against the run. He's, of course, a great pass rusher. He was the guy that teams were worried about more than anybody, and I think that speaks a lot to, him as a player. All right, I'm going to go with the guy the reason we're having the segment. I'm going with Myles Garrett. I am. I mean, he is, I think, just starting the prime of his career right now. And he is just like you talked about with Nick Bosa, except I think I could sit here and argue maybe he's more of a physical, dominant presence even than Nick Bosa, and that's saying a lot. I mean, these are guys who are superstar players, but Myles Garrett to me the same way. Game changer. You always have to account for who he is. Even if you have a really awesome franchise left tackle, a lot of them you're gonna have to help him out every now and then. And Myles Garrett is more than a pass rusher. He's great against the run, and I think really he's just starting to hit the tip of the iceberg here for what he can be as a player and as a man and as everything. So I am going with Myles Garrett. Again, I know I picked him as NFL Defensive Player of the Year last year. I think he's probably going to be my pick for the guy I'll go with again this year when we do that.
And he's on the younger side than your other picks, so that's good. I mean, I am skewing for the guys who are going to be around, right? And Garrett fits that mold better than Donald, but I got one that you're going to like, and this is probably the guy that was going to be your 3rd round pick. So I'm stealing him from you before you can. I want Derwin James, Charger safety. Huh? Did I take him from you?
I got a big star next to his name right now.
Yeah, I want Derwin James, baby. And we haven't seen it yet because he was injured last year. We got a flash of it as a rookie.
Yeah.
Remember, he inexplicably fell down the board on draft day in 2018, and I feel like I feel like the bomb is going to go off for him this year, and he's going to become a guy that we're talking about all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the year that happens. And in hindsight, yeah, anyone's going to say, boy, I wish I had that guy on my team.
No doubt about it. I think he is, we didn't get to see him a lot last year. He came back late in the year and was not totally back and hitting on all cylinders. But the rookie year, you said it right, Mike. His rookie year, he was already one of the best safeties in football. Definitely was. And I know, he fell down the draft board, to number 18, like you said. I know there was a handful of teams in front of them, or in front of the Chargers, who thought had Derwin James as a top 5, top 10 player in the draft. But as we know, it's about need and everything like that. And it just happened to be one of those years. So I'm with you. Hey, I'm staying at the same position. All right. Yeah, my guy's a little bit more of a pain in the butt. All right. He likes to talk a little bit more than Derwin James, but I'm going with Jamal Adams, who I do think is the best safety in football. Now, this is my organization. This is my franchise. I think I can coach Jamal Adams to be that right guy in the locker room, just like all coaches think they can fix every player. But to me, just so phenomenal in so many different aspects around the line of scrimmage, whether it's taking on blockers, making tacklers, great blitzer, great sideline to sideline. Jamal Adams is the best safety in the game for me right now. I'll go with him. It's a tough one there.
Yeah, and look, I still am fascinated to see how this plays out.
I know.
For Jamal Adams and the New York Jets. I think he's going to show up. I think he realizes this is not the year to be trying to force a trade. This is not the year to be trying to force a new contract.
All right, who are you going to go with here? Who are you going to go? Let me hear your list. Who's you're down to? Who you down to in your finals here?
I saved the best for last. Not the best, but I saved a guy that you weren't going to take because you can't pronounce his name. Danneel Hunter. Still only 25 years old. 25 years old. He's got 54.5 sacks. He had more sacks than anyone who's ever played the game before he turned 25. He is quiet. He doesn't go out seeking attention. There are plenty of other big personalities on that team that we talk about and that we think about, but he is dominant. And I'm starting a team. I want him on one. I'll take Nick Bosa on one side, and I'll take Danneel Hunter on the other side. And the quarterback isn't going to have time to make his first read, let alone his second or third read with those two guys coming after.
Yeah, well, listen, I like Danneel Hunter a lot. And, it's good that you're showing.
Oh, you got it right.
Yeah, got it right. Ooh, I'm glad you showed your Viking pride. He was on my list. I don't think I would have picked him. I think I would have gone a guy like maybe Chris Jones or even TJ Watt in front of him. But I understand it. And you bleed purple. You're all about the Vikings, so I totally get it.
I mainly wanted to give you a hard time because other than today, you have been unable to say Danneel Hunter's first name.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.